Sony is dropping the PSN account requirements on PC, but having one will now unlock in-game content. PC players will no longer require a PlayStation Network account to play Sony's games. And this is an article that I was actually a little bit surprised to see just because I've done a few videos here and there. I actually did one this week. I can't remember which one it was at the top of my head, where I talk about the fact that Sony having to have PC players make a PlayStation account in order to play their games is something I haven't agreed with since I first heard about it. And I remember I did a video on this a while back. I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head, where I kind of got really into detail about why I don't like it and why I think it's very bad that they decided to go this route. And I actually got a lot of pushback on that from a lot of, I'm guessing, PlayStation fans because of the fact that I didn't agree with it and I didn't think it was something that PlayStation should be doing. I feel like they're overreaching at that point when it comes down to PC players. And I had quite a few people that were kind of criticizing it and making it seem like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. It's just something you should kind of just get over. You're just complaining for no good reason, kind of a thing. But at the end of the day, I really don't agree with it at all. I don't think that it's something that PC players should have to make a PlayStation account for a few different reasons here and there. Some of the biggest reasons I had was the fact that, with Sony getting hacked as many times as they have, I feel like there's less incentive for someone like that would want to create an account with them, especially a PC player, because of the fact that if you're gonna create a PlayStation account, you pretty much have to give them a lot of your information. So if they've been hacked multiple times, more than likely, if you create a PlayStation account with them just so you can play a game and you give them your information, it's probably going to get out there for other people to be able to hack and get that information of you, which is something I don't agree with. As well as the fact that whenever you do sign a PlayStation account with a PC game, you have to pretty much abide by PlayStation's guidelines and everything like that. And that's another thing I don't agree with. Part of the reason that PC players decide to go that route is so that they don't have to follow PlayStation's rules and everything like that, and can kind of go along their own way of playing the games because it's on PC. Now, to be clear, I'm not a PC player. I actually do have a PlayStation. That's what I play my games on. So I think that was another thing that was kind of rubbing people the wrong way, was the fact that I was so heavily in defense of PC players, even though I'm a PlayStation player myself. I would love to have a PC to play on personally, but with how I am right now and everything like that, I don't really have the funds to kind of go that direction. So I'm fine with just sticking with PlayStation, and that's okay. But at the same time, I do not agree with Sony doing this, and I don't like the fact that they've been pushing this on PC players. So hearing that this is going on with Sony and PlayStation and that they're going this route, I'm actually really happy to hear this, and I'm sure there's a lot of PC fans out there that are happy to hear this as well. So we'll go ahead and get into this article, and then I'll give my thoughts as we go along. So PC players will soon no longer require a PlayStation Network account to play Sony's first-party games, but having one will now also unlock in-game extras. With the release of Marvel Spider-Man 2 for PC on January 30th, having a PlayStation Network account to play the games will be optional. That will also be the case with previously released titles God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, plus The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, which will be released on April 3rd of 2025. However, Sony will no longer be offering in-game content unlockables to incentivize players to use a PSN account, which also offers players trophies and friend management. Players with PlayStation Network accounts will receive the following benefits: Marvel Spider-Man 2 early unlock suits, the Spider-Man 2099 black suit and the Miles Morales 2099 suit. God of War Ragnarok, gain access to the armor of the Black Bear set for Kratos at the first Lost Items chest in the Realm Between Realms, previously only accessible in New Game Plus Run, and a resource bundle, 500 hack silver and 250 XP. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, 50 plus points to activate bonus features and unlock extras. Jordan's jacket from Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet as a skin for Ellie. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, gain access to Nova Valiant outfit. Now, this is a weird one right here because of the fact that, yeah, I'm pretty sure Sony isn't happy with the fact they kind of have to go this direction. I think partially the reason they're doing it is because of the negative backlash they've been receiving from going that direction. Because I remember with like Helldivers 2, it was one of those things when they came out with that information that you had to sign in to a PlayStation Network. I personally am one of those people that firmly believes that that was one of the things that like pretty much killed the game, because I did a video on that before as well, where I showed how there was a big controversy, which was that PlayStation had it so that the game came out, you didn't have to sign into a PlayStation Network account, but and then a few months later, all of a sudden you had to, and if you couldn't play the game. And after that, the game pretty much died. You look at like the Steam charts and everything like that, and the numbers just went down. And I feel like once they kind of went back on that and changed it so that you didn't have to sign into an account, I feel like not a lot of players really went back to it at that point. And I think the developers of Helldivers 2 were kind of criticizing the players as well because of the fact that they didn't like that. And I think that definitely didn't help any more than what they needed. So it was one of those things where it kind of ruined the game. And then I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong on this one because I haven't really seen any like the numbers or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure having to sign into a PlayStation Network account has probably lost them a lot of customers and people that would be willing to play the games on PC. I'm sure there's lots of people that see that, and like PC players that had seen that you had to sign into a PlayStation Network and were like, you know what, I'm good. Like I want to play these games, but I'm not gonna go and give my personal information just so I can play this game that, for all I know, might not be good. Now, I know a lot of the games could like have the potential to be good. God of War Ragnarok, I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of that game. The gameplay itself is fun. I just wasn't a fan of the story. But having to give your personal information for that, I don't think I would want to do that. Spider-Man 2, I heard that game wasn't really that great, so I probably wouldn't want to do it for that. The Last of Us Part 2, same with that. I heard the story wasn't the greatest. I heard the gameplay wasn't too bad, but just the story itself wasn't the greatest. So I wouldn't want to go in that direction. And then Horizon Zero Dawn remastered. I still have Horizon Zero Dawn for the PlayStation 4, and it still holds up as far as graphic wise and everything like that. So I don't really see too much of an incentive to want to go that direction. And then the fact that they're doing these like in-game rewards for it, personally, I still wouldn't want to give my information out for stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure the numbers are probably going to end up going up for PlayStation as far as their player base and everything like that. But I don't really think that the PlayStation Network accounts are going to be on the rise because of the incentives that they'll give. Who knows? You know what I mean? I'm sure there's some people out there that are like, you know what? Yeah, I'm willing to put my information out there so I can get some of these rewards and stuff like that. But I feel like for the most part, a lot of the players are going to be like, no, I'm good on that. So game creators at PlayStation Studios will continue to work on bringing more benefits to players who sign up for a PlayStation Network account, so be sure to follow studio channels for more information, said Assad Quilabash, SVP, Head of Publishing for PlayStation Studios Business Group. Today's announcement follows confirmation earlier this month that The Last of Us Part 2 on PC would require a PlayStation Network account to play. So I think that's kind of a weird one. So yeah, they're doing in-game kind of rewards, but as they said, the individual Assad, they're gonna be bringing more benefits to players who sign up for a PlayStation Network account. So I'm kind of curious as to what that's gonna be itself. If it's just gonna be continuing to do in-game like rewards and stuff like that, or if they are gonna have some other type of rewards outside of the games themselves that'll try to incentivize people to try to sign up for a PlayStation Network account. Personally, if I were to get a PC, I already have a PlayStation Network account, so I really kind of don't have to worry about that in that regard. But if I were to be a PC player that never really got into playing PlayStation games and I didn't have any interest on creating a PlayStation Network account, I don't think I would have any incentive really, I don't really think there's anything they could do that would really want me to be like, all right, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and create an account at that point. While this has been the case for some multiplayer titles such as the now defunct Concord, the inclusion to strictly single player titles has previously attracted the ear of players. Other than the requirements for a second account, the fact that PlayStation Network is not available in many countries would in theory preclude players in many regions from playing the games. The backlash to the PSN inclusion in Helldivers 2 was such that Sony itself U-turned and removed the requirements, saying at the time it was learning what's best for PC players. When the requirement was added for the PC version of God of War Ragnarok, one player even created a mod which removed it, but it was taken down at the creator's request in case of action from Sony. And yeah, that is one of the things too that it mentioned as well right over here was the fact that there are a lot of countries. I forgot how many it stated. I think there's like 100 and something different countries that don't allow PlayStation Network. So I feel like that had to have been one of the other things that really incentivized Sony to be like, you know what, maybe we should stop requiring this for players because there are lots of people out there that I'm sure would like to play these games that just aren't able to because of the fact that they have to sign into a PlayStation Network living in a region where it's not allowed. And I bet you anything they're losing out on a lot of money in that regard. So that's something else that they're considering and they're thinking to themselves like, you know what? Yeah, there's so much more that we could be making financially if we stop doing this and stop requiring players to go in that direction. So I like hearing this. I think it's really cool. And then one other thing I also read from another article is right here was it's worth noting that the sign-in requirements isn't being removed from titles like Until Dawn, another single-player game. So time will only tell if this becomes Sony's does for all of its games. Yeah, that's some bad English right there. I imagine it will continue requiring it for online titles as the Online Legends mode in Ghost of Tsushima also still requires a PlayStation Network account. Sony didn't say when the sign-in requirements is being removed for titles other than Spider-Man 2, so just keep one eye peeled, I suppose. And yeah, that's one of the things with with the online games and stuff like that. I guess I can kind of see that. I think I mentioned that before in some of the other videos where I've talked about it, where I can kind of see that being the case where you would kind of have to sign into a PlayStation Network account and everything like that because it is online in that direction. But when it comes down to the single player games, again, I don't agree with that. The fact that they have to they make it so that you have to sign in. So the fact that all of these single player games are going to be getting it removed, that's something I definitely agree with. And I feel like it's good news to hear, not only for people that can, that can't play sign into a PlayStation Network account because of where they live, but for PC players who really just don't want to have to give their information out or have to abide by the rules that Sony requires them to when it comes down to single player games. So I feel like this is a win for PC players, and hopefully this will be something that'll kind of other studios will kind of learn. I mean, I know Sony was the only one that was kind of requiring this of players and everything like that, PC players, but just to prevent other studios and other companies from trying to do something stupid like this in the future. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Do you guys think it's good news that PC players no longer have to sign into PlayStation Network accounts? And yeah, if you guys can let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.